Hi guys, and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. Now, I don't look too much like a Viking at the minute. I got a beard trim, I got a bit of a haircut, so I look a bit well groomed than an actual Viking. I'm sure there was some very self-conscious Vikings back then who looked after themselves and didn't let themselves uh, didn't let themselves go too much. But yeah, I look a little bit different, and let me know if you like it or not. Something a little bit different. It's ironic, isn't it? The time when we're on self isolation and on lockdown in some countries, and I go years without getting a proper haircut and years without trimming my beard or taking it all off. Now that I'm just bored and self isolated, now is the time I get a beard cut. But I know that's been fun. I hope everyone's doing okay. I know we're going through a tough time now, of course, with the coronavirus. Um, a lot of films being shut down, production, things like that. It is very annoying. Some TV shows have stopped. It's going to push everything back. Films like the Batman, they've stopped shooting. Um, Look, it's just the way. It's for everyone's benefit that these things happen. It's health and safety. Human lives matter more than films. So we have to just deal with this. It's going to push everything back film wise. A Quiet Place 2 was supposed to come out. That was changed. I think Black Widow's being changed now as well. Films like BloodShot and The Invisible Man will be available on digital to rent, I think, as well. And they're only after coming out in the cinemas. I did get the chance to see the two films in the cinema, but there you go. It's just the way things are. It's happening. It's affecting the box office as well. Bloodshot didn't do that well. I'm not sure it would have done well without the coronavirus, but still, we never know. I think it would have did better than what it did. I think it made 15 million opening weekend or something like that. It was that domestically, and without what happened in the world, I'm sure it would have made a little bit more. And it wasn't a bad film. It deserved to make more. But anyway, I hope we're all keeping safe. Hope you're not too lonely. If you are, don't be afraid to get in contact with me if you want to have a conversation on my Twitter, on my Instagram, whatever you want. I don't mind. I'll definitely take time to have a conversation with you. Don't feel too lonely. Put on a film that you love, a TV show, rewatch it. Now is the perfect time. I know it's very hard. Of course, we're all taken out of our daily routines. I like going to the gym. I can't do it now at the minute, so I'm just trying to stay active, cycling, running, things like that. Make sure you eat healthy too as well. Don't eat too bad because you need to keep your immune system all built up so you can fight off any new diseases that come your way. This attacks people with weakened immune systems, and of course, if you've already any coexisting health problems, diseases, anything like that. So try and stay as healthy as you can. Doesn't mean to sit around all day. You can still get up and do things. So make sure you just stay active, eat healthy, and you'll be fine. That's 100%. Stay out of contact with large groups of people, and no spring break like a lot of people are doing at the minute. But anyway, we're here to talk about films, of course, and I did get to see Bloodshot. I did get to see The Invisible Man in cinemas before they were taken out. And let's start with The Invisible Man. So Elizabeth Moss plays a character that has faced a lot of domestic abuse from her husband, mental abuse, physical abuse, things like that, and she had to get out. So the film opens up with her kind of escaping her partner, and then the film starts. But she believes that her partner is not dead, that it's a hoax, because she finds out that her husband committed suicide. And then these things start happening to her. Things start to move. She can feel things. She thinks she sees things. Things go missing. Things start happening. And she's already, even before this, she was very on edge. She was in hiding from her husband in case he found her. She was very scared of him. But nobody believes her, and these things start to happen. And you know what? Elizabeth Moss's acting here is very, very good. She's very good. The film is shot. It's very different from a normal horror film. I was going into it not expecting a whole lot. I'm not big into horror films. I don't get scared that easily in films. It takes a lot to put me on edge and things like that. But I think it's the anxiety that an audience would feel in this film. You can see things happen in the background. You can see things like that. We've seen that before in horror films, but it's done differently here. And I want to say, it takes a while for it to get going and for you to be engaged with the character and with the anxiety that they're feeling, but you do feel it as the film goes on. But I want to say there's one or two action scenes in this film, and they're done absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed them. because I think that what sets this film apart from other horror films is the way that the action is shot. There's a scene, I don't want to give too much away. It happens with a few people, a few cops, and it's done very well. And I really enjoyed that. I wish that was going on for more in the film, happened more often or stuff. But it was really really well shot by Lee Wallen, is it? Of course, he's another Schneider Cut advocate at the minute. He wants to see the Schneider Cut released. Don't believe those headlines are saying that he was against the Schneider Cut release. All clickbait. But no, I really enjoyed the way they did the action scenes. Elizabeth Moss's acting was very good. I enjoyed the film. It was okay. The ending was okay. It's not one of the best films. I don't think that will, maybe it will be now, but it's not one of the best films I've seen in the last year or last 2 years or last 3 years. I enjoyed it. It was shot very well. The acting was very good. It was an interesting, new, unique story, and I enjoyed it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing more of the director's work. He did the film Upgrade. He did Insidious 3. So that's kind of his thing, horror, anxiety type of films, psychological, things like that. Very good. I want to see more from him. Elizabeth Moss, I wasn't a big fan before this film, but now I'd be interested in watching more of her films in the future. So definitely, I think you can get Invisible Man. It's worth a watch, especially with a partner, with family and stuff, Might take your mind off being isolated and things like that. But I also got to see Bloodshot, directed by Dave Wilson. Now, Dave Wilson is a director who hasn't directed much. This is his first film he's directed, first feature film. He's done a lot of video game stuff. So he's worked on different Star Wars games. What else he looked on? Bio something. One of those games. He's worked a lot in video game world, and he did the visual effects for Avengers: Age of Ultron. So this was his first film. Big moment for him. How did he do? Well, I enjoyed Bloodshot, Vin Diesel film, of course. I enjoyed it. It's shot in a way. It's kind of like a video game the way it's shot. The story never really tells you, okay, this is what's happening, and now here's where we go and we tell the story. Kind of just, it's all in one flow, all in one line, the way the story is told. Not badly. This could have went completely wrong the way it was told, but it was okay. It was shot more like a video game. Maybe the cutscenes, it was just, it needed its start. It did that well. It set up the film. Then it needed a point saying, right, this is where the film starts. But after we get the origin of, say, Vin Diesel's character and what makes him who he is, it's all one line, and there's no kind of downtime. There's no kind of space to get to know the characters a bit more and things like that. So that's a criticism I have of it. There was one scene where the CGI was very poor. You can see it in the trailers. There's one where they're fighting on kind of elevators on the side of a building. That was kind of poor. But all in all, I enjoyed Bloodshot. It was a very different concept, very different original idea, the way it was done. Vin Diesel's character and him and his wife are murdered. He's put together by these scientists who give him these special abilities. He's like a super soldier. He's kind of like a cross between Wolverine, RoboCop, different kind of superheroes like that. He's kind of unstoppable. And then he sets out on these missions to get back at the people who he thinks killed his wife and him, but his memories start coming back. So when he's the super soldier, he has no memory. He can't really remember anything, only that one specific thing about his wife and him. But then his memory starts to come back more and more as the story progresses, and then it sets him on a path of not knowing exactly who he is. And that's really what the story is about. Vin Diesel does very well at playing what he's supposed to be. A badass who can do anything. A badass who can beat you up and make it look really, really cool. So Vin Diesel does very well. His acting range, we don't get to see it that much really in films. He does these action kind of films. Of course, the Fast and Furious films. He plays that kind of one-dimensional character. Here we got to see a little bit more range from him. I thought he did very well at that. The scenes where he has complete rage for his wife being murdered, things like that. He had some very cool dialogue, very cool one-liners. So all in all, Bloodshot was very good. I just have a problem with the story was told. One scene where the CGI was poor, but the rest of the CGI was very, very good. There's a scene in the trailer where he gets shot in the face, and you can see his face come completely off his skeleton, his skin, the blood and everything, and then it pops back. It goes back onto his face, and that was really really cool. Really enjoyed that. But no, all in all, Bloodshot, The Invisible Man, two very good films. Definitely worth renting or buying now that you can, and watching them with family or friends or even on your own. You know, it's good to support those films. Those films were supposed to come out in the cinema and properly and be released everywhere, but it just didn't happen, unfortunately. But I enjoyed them in the cinemas. Bloodshot, The Invisible Man, two good films, definitely not bad films. Good, I enjoyed them. So what else has happened? And of course, as I said, a lot of the films that we've been looking forward to have been taken out of the cinemas. They're not released now, the ones that were supposed to come. Birds of Prey is going to be available early to rent or buy online, digitally of course, now as well. So I think this is good as well for people who are at home and they can't go out. Like, I always love going to the cinema. I always go to the cinema every week to see a film. Even a film I'm not interested in, I always try and go see something just so I can keep my my movie knowledge afloat, keep myself going. It helps me. It's kind of my favorite part of the week, is where I get to go to the cinema by myself and enjoy my own company and watch a film, and then talk about it on Twitter or talk about it here with people. You know, that's what I really really enjoy. And at the minute, of course, we can't do that. So I've been watching a lot of Netflix. I've been watching a lot of Amazon Prime, Apple TV, you know, things like that, things that are on our cable here, and I'm enjoying it. To catch up on some films, I got to see Green Book, I got to see Imperium, I got to see Logan Lucky with Channing Tatum, I got to watch Across Concrete with Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn. So I'm getting to see films that I haven't been able to get the chance to see. Of course, I was busy with college and people are busy with work and things like that. So I'm using this time to read a little bit, to exercise, to eat healthy, and of course watch the films that I haven't been able to see. And just another thing on Birds of Prey. A lot of trolls on Birds of Prey at the minute. Of course, going and trolling Kat Dien, the director of Birds of Prey. And look, it's just sad from some people. You know, even people who are supporters of the Snyder Cut have been trolling her film. It's okay that you don't like it. 100%. I went to see Birds of Prey. I was really excited for it. It was a very different kind of film than I was expecting, and I enjoyed it. I liked Birds of Prey a lot. But this thing of not liking a film and then going to and attacking the cast or attacking the producers or the director, it's just sad. I didn't like Captain Marvel. I went and seen Captain Marvel. I didn't like it. The best thing about Captain Marvel, in my opinion, was Samuel L. Jackson. You don't see me on Twitter every day attacking Brie Larson or the directors, who I don't even know their names. You know, I didn't like the film. I gave my opinion, my review, and that's it. And if anyone asks me about it in the future, what you think of Captain Marvel, I give my opinion, but I don't go out of my way to bring negativity on a film or bring negativity towards myself about something I didn't like. You know, so Birds of Prey, I enjoyed it. I still talk about it. The thing is about Birds of Prey is, on quality level, it's not as good as a Batman versus Superman or a Man of Steel in the DCU. No. But Batman vs Superman came out 4 years ago. People still troll it. People still praise it. People still give out about it. It's still a discussion in the movie world, especially in the comic book movie world. It's a discussion. Birds of Prey, after nearly 2 months of being out in theaters, didn't do that well in terms of box office. Did alright, consider its budget, consider what it made. It did okay. Wasn't a complete flop, but people are still talking about it, whether that be praising the film or trolling the film. Birds of Prey is a very unique comic book movie, in my opinion. The way the story is told, the way it's shot, the way it's telling the story, and then it goes off and tells little bits of different scenes, of course, looking at Harley Quinn's psychology. That scene where Black Mask is confronting her, and then her and Black Mask in her head are off dancing and singing. I enjoy those aspects of it. And then this interpretation that we have of ourselves, of what did we see that actually happened, Black Mask, etc. I don't want to spoil that on anyone who hasn't seen the film, but I enjoyed it. And I said in my Twitter earlier on, ask any artist, did they want roses or to be lamented in roses? be praised right now, or do they want their art to stand the test of time? Zack Snyder's films are very divisive. Watchmen, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman will stand the test of time. Watchmen gets better every single time I watch that film. It's an absolute brilliant comic book film. Brilliant. And more people are coming out and talking positively about it, saying it was ahead of its time. If it came out now, it might be received a little bit different. I don't know about that, but I think that different directors have unique ways of telling stories, and they last longer than a film that makes $1 billion at the box office. So a film like Age of Ultron that made $1 billion at the box office, I like Age of Ultron, but how many people are actually talking about that film now? How many people are talking about the teams? Even the first Avengers, I don't hear many people talk about it daily as a Batman versus Superman or a Man of Steel, the way it's appreciated. So any artist, they want their films, they want their piece of art, they want what they do in life to stand the test of time and to be remembered for that, not to be forgotten. So Birds of Prey, I enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, that's okay. Nobody's going to hold a gun to your head and make you love the film. Just don't go out your way and attack people and give out to people and to just bring negativity. It's just not good. And especially if you're a Zack Snyder supporter, if you want his film to be released, great. Support it every day like you do. But don't bring absolute unnecessary negativity. You're a Snyder Cut supporter who's fighting for artistic integrity, for an artist to be allowed to be told to tell the story that they want to tell. How is that any different from what Cathy Yen is doing, from James Wan, from Patty Jenkins? We don't want what happened with Justice League to ever happen again for any director. Any director. So then why are we putting directors in a box saying your film has to meet the needs that a Zack Snyder film would meet? What's the point in that? What's the point of having every DCU film the same? Because then if it is, we turn into Marvel. Those films turn into Marvel. I enjoy Marvel films. They know what works. They have an audience. I watch Marvel films every day of the week. But they meet a certain criteria. They stick in a box and it works for them, and that's okay, and it makes them money. But I appreciate the Marvel movies in the MCU that are very different. A lot of the films are the same humor, same kind of action sequences, stuff like that. I watch them but I get tired of them, but I appreciate the movies inside the MCU that are niche, that are different, that are received poorly. And The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 3, those are films that I really, really like. I'm a big fan of Age of Ultron as well. That gets a lot of heat. So I prefer when things are done outside the box. That's why I really appreciate BloodShot, because it's different from anything we've ever seen. Not the best comic book movie ever, not in the top 10, top 15, top 20, but I appreciate it because it was different and I enjoyed it and I'd watch it again. But there's no point of every DCU film being the same. That's not what we want. So please, just don't be attacking people. Give your opinion, a constructive opinion, and look for discussion and interaction from different movie fans and communication, but just don't be mean to each other. It's just not good. So that's my 2 cents on that matter. Another thing I want to talk about is the Snyder Cut. Of course, it's been quiet now at the minute. Of course, with all going on in the world, we don't need to be seeing pictures. We don't need to be causing any kind of big scenes about the Snyder Cut now at the minute. There's a lot more important things going on in the world, and at the minute now, my sole priority isn't to be 100% fighting or getting in contact with people about the Snyder Cut. I just hope people are safe and people are enjoying their time alone or with family and stuff like that. I don't want people to feel like they're in a state of where their mental health is getting bad because of what's going on with the coronavirus and being alone and things like that. So at the minute, I just want to enjoy talking about films on Twitter. I still enjoy talking about the Snyder Cut, but I don't want to get into arguments or discussions with people or attacking Warner Brothers Instagram or Facebook pages or Twitter pages with Snyder Cut, things like that. Of course, I still want to fight for the film. I don't want to I just kind of want to more help people and stay positive in this time with things like that, you know. But I'm still posting and talking about the Snyder Cut and things like that. But I just don't want to get into. I just don't want people to feel alone. That's why I want to talk to more people, communicate with more people, and things like that. Because it is a tough time for people. People aren't used to this. But a positive note for the Snyder Cut is when Zack Snyder announced the winner for the art for his poster competition. Very good poster, very cool poster, and then the prize was even better. So he hopes to go back and shoot more scenes with Superman and Batman, Martian Manhunter, and things like that. That's Zack's intentions, to go and make his Snyder Cut better, and hopefully that happens. But also, Sean O'Connell, the managing director, the CoronaVirus, the managing director. I'm alone in the house here, so I won't be leaving, so it's okay. The managing director at Cinema Blend, of course, writing a book about it, and is co-host of the Cinema Blend podcast. Has a lot of big stars on it all the time. But he's writing a book, as we know, and he released a little small snippet of the Snyder Cut book, and I'm in it. So very privileged for that to happen. And you can go look at it on the Release Snyder Cut page, or Snyder Cut book page on Twitter. Yeah, it's just a little thing, but I've maybe been the first person to tweet and all that. But it's cool to be in the book. Zach's gonna be in the book. Debbie's gonna be in the book. I'm really looking forward to listening to other people's comments about the Snyder Cut, their experiences, their origins, of why they're involved with the movement and things like that. So it's really cool for me to be in the book. I'm privileged. I get to share a book with so many people that I admire, so many of my friends and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to buying the book, reading the book, and just learning about everyone's experiences. So I'm privileged to be in it. I want to thank Sean O'Connell for getting in contact with me and asking for my opinion on the Snyder Cut and the DCU in general, and getting in contact with me about my first tweet of it. So 100% looking forward to that, and hopefully we get the Snyder Cut release date or announcement before the book's released, or maybe it's a pathway for the release date to be announced. So you never know what's going to happen. We don't know. But anyway, that's all I really want to talk about today. Stay safe, enjoy yourself while you can, interact with your family, communicate, play board games, watch a film. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to watch Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and then I'm going to watch Jesse Eisenberg's comedy from the end of 2019. I forget what it's called, but it's just on the TV here I've seen. And yeah, so just watch movies, watch TV, and enjoy yourself. Until next time, see you.